Hey, what is up, folks? And welcome back to another video. Back when Minecraft 1.9 got its official release, we saw the addition of pathway blocks to the game, a slightly shorter tame block that appears when you right-click on grass blocks with a shovel and serves the purpose of being a simple way to make functional pathways in the game. And while this certainly worked and wasn't too bad on the eyes, it left a lot to be desired for people wanting to add just a bit more to their builds, which is why today I am going to show you guys how to make a couple different styles of pathway to add to a bit of pizzazz to your Minecraft builds. As for our first pathway design, we are going to be using the stone brick, cracked stone brick, andesite, cobblestone, gravel, and stone brick stairs. So I'm going to grab all of these here, and pretty much this is going to be your typical run-of-the-mill pathway. This is probably what you've seen before multiple times. And it's going to be kind of like a city runway pathway. You know, you got your stone brick, a little bit of gravel. What I like to start with is kind of the main block that you're going to use probably the least, which is gravel. Just spread this around, add a little bit in there. Now, the thing about pathways is when you do plug all of these materials in, it's kind of just a random pattern. There is no specific way to organize things. You just want things to be kind of separated out. So we're going to come back in here and we're going to add just a little bit of andesite because the big blocks we're going to use are the cracked stone brick and the stone brick. So we'll just come back in here. We'll add a little bit of andesite to the back here. Just make sure everything is relatively scattered about. And then we're going to go back in once again and add just a little bit of cobble. And then come back here. And now let's add stone brick stairs. And the stone brick stairs is to add just a wee bit of depth to your pathway. So it just is going to make it look like bricks are removed, like, you know, it's had a little bit of weathering to it. It's just going to overall make it just look a little bit better. So we're going to do that there. Now we go back in with the cracked stone brick. So pretty much you want to go from like least used to most used for the most part. So just throw a couple cracked stone brick in there, more toward the edge, and just fill all that in. Maybe throw one in the middle there. And then next, we're going to fill it all in with stone brick. And you're going to just see the pathway kind of come out like so. Look at that. So that would be kind of your starter pathway. Now what you want to do after that, since it just looks a little bit bland, obviously the actual pathway itself looks pretty fine, but when you look at the sides here, it looks like you just transitioned from grass to pathway. Now that's something to think about when you are making pathways, because you want to think like there's going to be water washing off the side of your road. It's going to create little like mud ruts on the side. What you want to do for that, you can grab a little bit of coarse dirt and just kind of sprinkle it in along the side of your pathway. You can do this with gravel. You can use pretty much any kind of brown block. Just kind of add a little bit of a border to your pathway, and it just, believe me, makes a world of difference. And so yeah, there we go. That is our stone brick pathway. Doesn't it look so nice? You'd probably see this in mostly medieval builds, rustic builds, and pretty much stuff like that. So that one turned out pretty good. Let's move on to our next one. So our next road is going to be moving to be a little bit more gritty. This is going to be kind of your back road, dirt road, very like messed up, kind of almost barely there. And that's actually why we're going to pull a little bit of grass in again, and we're going to sprinkle just a bit of grass in there. Just a wee bit, and then we're going to add a little bit of spruce wood. Now, you're probably wondering, why spruce wood? Well, not particularly because it is wood, but more because of the actual color scheme. So this color scheme is allowing us to do just mainly browns, a little bit of gray, and the spruce wood actually fits in very well. So then we're going to go back in with this brown terracotta here. Sprinkle just a little bit of that. That'll almost be like almost like little mud puddles throughout the pathway. And then on the sides here, add just a bit of gravel. Let's go in with a little bit of gravel there. Maybe sprinkle just a little bit in the middle, like so. And you could do the same with the andesite. So just kind of come to the sides here, add just a little wee bit of andesite. And the next thing you want to fill it all in, because the main ingredient to kind of a dirt road is going to be your coarse dirt. So just fill it all in with coarse dirt. And as you can see, this is a very faded, very gritty pathway. This is personally one of my favorites for like small little villages if you build them, or if you just have like a little out in the nowhere kind of house. This is a very popular one that I like to use for a lot of like just smaller builds, while this over here would be kind of more of like a city build. All right, so I think that one turned out pretty well. Let's move on to the final one here. So this variation of this road might be my personal favorite, honestly. It probably is. If you watched my Half Sun series at all, you would know I use these a lot at the spawn village. I've used these significantly, and this is definitely probably my favorite. This is a very pristine road. This is going to be something you use in very large cities. To show a little bit more wealth. Obviously, brick is not cheap to get in survival, so that's why I tend to use this more for just large community areas, just to show it off a little bit more. But first off, we're going to start with the terracotta. This is just some blank terracotta. Just scatter it around in here. Make sure everything is spread out, like so. Then we're going to go in with some granite. Spread it around. Keep it kind of random, but more keep it toward the center, because our main road is going to be in the center. That's where it's going to, all the dirt's going to be brushed off of it, because that's going to be where everyone's walking. So do like so. And then on the outskirts is where you want to add some kind of cobblestone or terracotta. Normally I kind of go back and forth on all of the corners. Just splash a little bit of that cobblestone or that andesite in there. As you can see, like so. And then what you're going to want to do is go in with the brick stairs here. This is what's going to add kind of that depth like we did on the first set of pathways. And you could also throw just a little bit of some granite stairs in there as well. And then we go back in with the brick. So just fill it all in, and voila, there you go. And then if you want to spruce it up just a little bit more, go in with a little bit of dirt and just sprinkle just a bit of dirt off to the side. You could do the same with a bit of gravel. If you want to grab just a little bit of gravel here, sprinkle some gravel in here. And this just adds almost like a little bit of a border to the side of your road. See, that's a little bit of a bigger road, but that is what you'd be going for. Let's add just a little bit more stair there. Let's see, like so, and then yeah, that's probably good. So what's nice is when you're walking with the stairs, if you're walking, you don't really ever fall in. It's almost pretty much impossible to like have your legs fall into these bricks. While if you do use slabs, obviously you'd be bouncing up and down on the road, and it's just not going to be very clean to walk on. So this keeps your road pretty clean. You can walk along it, you can run along it, you're not tripping and falling, your sprint doesn't deactivate itself. It looks pretty good. So those are 3 major pathways. Let me add just a little bit of detail to all of them, and I will be back in a second. Alrighty, so I went in, spruced things up just a little bit, and I added just some leaves, foliage, a little bit of some of these ferns, dead ferns, around the side of the road, just to give it just a little bit more character. As you can see over here, some ferns and some leaves did a pretty good job kind of adding some bushes to the sides of the roads. Over here with our kind of country dirt road, we got some fences along the side with some dead ferns, a little bit of overgrowth onto the road, just adding a little bit more character. As we get into our bit more pristine brick road, we obviously have a little bit of lighting, some lampposts, some nicely trimmed plants that run along the side here, and overall, it looks pretty good. Obviously, you guys are fully free to use these roads however you want. I would hope you would. I hope this helped you a little bit with making your roads a little bit better. Maybe sways you away from using those grass block roads. So, yeah, that would be about it. If you guys enjoyed or if this video helped you, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all of those wonderful things, and I will see you guys in the next one.